Just to remind them the rules, 10 minutes. You'll be having signals around the 3-minute, 2-minute, and stop. If you end up going less than 10 minutes, that time rolls into the Q&A for the judges. Overall 25 minutes for the entire presentation. And you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so we are Dualonics. I'm Kaylee, and this is Justin, and we have two other group members, Lauren and Shane, who weren't able to make it. So the basis of our invention is we worked with the problem of having your toothbrush and toothpaste separately when you travel. So buying the toothpaste separately, like the small size ones, is like annoying and wasteful to keep using the plastic and having to throw them away and then buy a new one or lose them and not use the whole thing. And like they're low quality, the toothbrushes that you use, they're just cheap plastic. If you're buying a cheap one from like Walmart and then you're buying a little toothpaste every time you travel, it becomes a nuisance. The TSA regulations when you travel are also kind of complicated. You have to have 3.4 fluid ounces or less every time, and you have to have it in a quart-sized bag. So all of your liquids, you have to have a small toothpaste. All of those things have to be in a small bag together, and then it can only be 3.4 fluid ounces. So you could never bring your regular full-size toothpaste. You have to buy a little one and bring that every time. So our solution was to create a high-end automatic toothbrush that stores the toothpaste inside of it. The toothpaste is going to be filled into it and then dispensed out through the head and through the bristles, which will make traveling easier because you'll have both of them in one. You won't forget one or the other, and then have to constantly be purchasing one or the other. Like if you have the toothbrush, keep buying the toothpaste. It's going to reduce the wasted space taken up by the conventional toothbrush and toothpaste because it's going to be all in one together. You're not going to forget one, they're going to be right inside of each other. And then we're also, along with the toothbrush, it's going to come with a sanitary bristle cap, so like when you're traveling, nothing can get on the bristles, like germs, putting it in your bag. It's going to have a nice like plastic cap over it. And then one replacement head, like dentists recommend that you swap out your toothbrush head every 3 months. So it's going to have the one that comes on it and then a separate one for 3 months later, and then you're going to be able to purchase another replacement head after that. And then it also is going to have a cleaning tool because the way that we've set it up is that you put your own toothpaste into it. So the toothpaste that you use at home, you can put right into the toothbrush that you're going to travel with. And it's going to come with a cleaning tool that is similar to like the picks that you use when you have braces, and that can go right into it and clean it out so that like old toothpaste doesn't get like crusty or gross on it. And then it's also going to be automatic, so it's going to have like that vibrating technology that the toothbrushes have. So we're going to charge it with a USB cord, so you don't have to constantly be buying batteries or wasting batteries and then throwing them out and buying new ones, forgetting them. So you could you're going to be traveling anyways. Most likely you're going to bring a phone charger. You have the USB cord on that, so then you could charge your toothbrush even like using the USB in your laptop. So the technology behind it, our technology is going to embody the technology of an automated dispenser. So similar to like when you put your hand under like a Purell, like one of those like squirts out, or like the soap. It's going to be powered by a rechargeable battery that I said will be charged with the USB cord. And then it's going to dispense the recommended amount by dentists, which is a pea-sized amount, so no more, no less than that. A lot of people tend to overuse toothpaste, which we did a lot of research with like the dentist saying that people use too much. They squirt an entire strip on it, so it's going to have that one pea size, so it's going to actually last longer. So this is a mock-up of what our toothbrush is going to look like. We have the removable head on top. It's going to snap on. It's going to come with one on it, and then you get the one like we said. And then it has gel grips on the side for comfort, and then an on-off switch to get the vibrating technology, and then the charging port is on the back of it. And as you can see, it has the two compartments. One is where the rechargeable battery is, and then the other is the toothpaste compartment. And then that rubber nozzle is going to be like a gel grip that your toothpaste can fit inside of, and then you can squeeze it in there. And then the technology brings it up through and goes to the base, or to the top where the bristles are. So after doing research, we discovered who our target market was. We did an online study, or online survey, where we surveyed over 100 people, or almost 100 people, and we discovered that our target market is generally both males and females, because both of them travel about equal amounts, and then ages 20 to 45. We found that like students like coming out of college were getting like a lot of jobs that like involve traveling and stuff like that, and then we also, many adults were traveling for their work. And then people that are very into like luxury items, like luxury suitcases. They have the nice stuff because they are traveling a lot. They're going to want something that's going to last them a while. So as for our competition, we did ourselves, like compared to them. There is a brand of, there is a toothbrush that it has the toothpaste inside of it, but it works like manually, like you push it up and then the toothpaste comes out of it, and it works by like snapping in half and then you fill it. And like the reviews for that, like it's very messy and it's just not a very high quality toothbrush. So they're definitely our main competition because it's generally the same idea. And then Philips Sonicare, like the nice expensive automatic ones, and then Oral-B and Crest. So as you can see, like we did some main points like oral health. You're gonna get oral health from most of the nice ones, just not one that's like super, dentists don't recommend a nice like cheap one. And then high quality, we found that we're definitely going to be high quality, and then Philips Sonicare is also high quality. And then ease of use, most toothbrushes are easy to use. The MyKiss, like I said, people found it messy. And then travel friendly, both us and MyKiss are travel friendly. And then low price point, definitely the manual ones are going to be lower priced, but that's not what we're going towards. We want it to be high quality, and then the toothpaste department. As I mentioned, our competition is Crest, Oral-B, Colgate, basically any company that does sell toothbrushes, we are going to be in competition with them. But what separates us is the high quality and the dispensing technology.
Okay, so getting into some of the numbers, the process, the first 7 months we aren't going to be selling any toothbrushes. From months 1 through 3, they're going to be for design development, hiring engineers to make the product look good and run smoothly. We estimate the cost to be around $90,000. Months 3 through 6, as you can see, is tooling, getting the tooling ready so we can do the first production run of about 5,000 units. It takes about $20 to make one of these toothbrushes, so that's how it came to the $100,000. From month 8 to year 2, we're going to do catalog selling, like the stuff you see when you travel, like it used to be Sky Mall, behind the seats in the airplanes and stuff, and what's sitting on the table in the waiting areas. In year 3, we hope to jump to retail selling, places like Rite Aid, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So, like I said, future expansion, moving from catalog to retail, selling in retail stores including Rite Aid, Walgreens, and CVS. So what they have is they have a big brand and selection at their stores, and we believe if we can get into those stores through all of the branding that we have before that, it'll be good for us. And then our possible exit strategy is sell the idea to a major oral care brand as we receive royalty of about 5%. We believe we're going to be very successful, and it'll be a very profitable company that they will look at. Our business model, as I've kind of mentioned before, our price is going to be $39.99 to retailers when we get there, and that will be the price in the catalogs. Retail markup is $80 to consumers, and then the cost to make, like I mentioned, was about $20. So our gross margin is about $20 per toothbrush. This little graph here, it talks about our operating income. For the first 7 months, like I mentioned before, it will be used for tooling, it will be used for production and getting everything up to speed. And then we have spikes from month 13 to month 26 due to catalog sales and getting popular. And then the next spike is for a retail store. This is sales, same thing, nothing through the first 7 months, and then it's going to spike as we get into the retail store. So a few numbers for you guys. Year 1 units sold, we're projecting about 3,500. You need about 7,675 to break even year 1, and then in year 2 you need about 7,080. So crunching all the numbers, we believe that we're going to break even year 2, month 18, which is a year and a half in, by selling 17,000 units by that time. That will cover the cost of everything, including the first 7 months. And then finally, we were asking for 310%, 310,000 for 20% equity in our company. That's it. So we can love to take your questions.
So at one point I thought you said $29.99 and then it was $39.99. Maybe there were a couple different drafts and the things they sent. But anyway, how are you going to get to that suggested retail price point? Do you have distributor costs in there? Or are there, I don't know about the health and beauty industry. I don't know if there are brokers and distributors, what the distributor margin is, what the retailer margin is.
We are selling it for $39.99, and then we're planning for the retailers to sell it for $89.99 or $79.99.
And how are you going to?
We calculated that based on that it would be double like by the time you figure out like the shipping and all that, that it's gonna be worth double. Do you get what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
understand. So you're going to UPS directly to stores or sell to their central warehouses, or are there distributors?
we were planning on selling it to their warehouses.
Okay.
It's like how we figure
Are there
it out.
distributors in this category of products that buy toothpaste and make deliveries with lots of different items to those kinds of stores? There must be, right?
I'm sure there is, but I think what we're going to start doing is we're going to cut out the middleman and just sell it to their warehouses.
Or actually directly to the schools. Okay.
Yeah.
What so you did a competitive analysis, right? So what is the highest quality competitor that you face?
The Philips Sonicare.
The Philips. And what do they cost?
Sonicare.
The Philips. And
This can run about almost $100. They have their own technology that is very they're the ones that you get at a dentist's office, and they have their own technology that is patented. But we are going to use generally the vibration technology that most of them embody, but theirs has something special to it that is their own.
the ultrasonic.
Yeah, the ultrasonic. Yeah.
And so how do you come up with the $20
That it
for
costs
the
to
cost of
make
the
it.
brush? Yeah.
We generally found that by researching how much it would cost to get the plastic molds and stuff like that for each part of the toothbrush. So you need the mold to make it in general, and then the technology to dispense it. So we just figured it out based on all those.
Some toothpaste the viscosity is very different from toothpaste. I can tell because my wife uses a different toothpaste. I can't even get hers out of the thing, So will that work with your idea? And then, do you ever clean that chamber out? That
Yeah,
has,
it comes.
lots of toothpaste going out.
It does come with, like I said, one of those. I don't really know how to describe it. It's the things that you use to clean your braces out.
Or
They
a pipe
have
cleaner.
those. So basically, that can fit in the little nozzle that you fill in your
It's
toothbrush.
very clean and simple to use. It's
And
just
then
stepping out.
the way it works is it's pushing it up from the bottom, so it should pick up all the stuff on the sides to move it up. So you're never
If you could envision a shot, you know how if you fill up with a shot and the bottom, there's going to be a compartment on the bottom that pushes it up.
Right.
So that's the technology that we're using, kind of like what you see in the hand dispensers. So when you push the button, it's kind of going to go up that recommended amount. It's going to push it through.
And then when you're ready to refill it, you that thing.
Yep. So the nozzle, it's a rubber nozzle, and what you can do is you put that. It's going to be the same size as the toothpaste, and it will reduce the waste because it will go around the top of the thing, and then you can just push it all the way in. And once it's filled, you'll get pushed back, and you can just pull it out.
Are you sure that? Oh, I'm sorry, please.
As far as the viscosity goes, after doing some research, we found that if we did one hole in the base of the head of the toothbrush instead of little small ones, it would solve that problem of if you had a thicker toothbrush or you had or toothpaste and then you had a more of a gel type. If it was just one hole that it came out of, it's not as forceful as trying to put it out of little tiny ones all throughout the head.
I had a couple of questions. So the first question is, do you know that if a USB charging medium will handle the voltage that you need for that pumping apparatus?
Right. No. Yeah. It's about the same.
Typically a very low voltage charging medium.
Mm-hmm. We thought about that. So the technology, it will take a little while to charge, but our overall thing with that is you're not going to have to charge it that much. The voltage in that, I think it's about double or triple what a phone is. Because you will have to charge it for a little longer, but we think you're not using your toothbrush that much. So if you can just sit it there and you can let it charge for
which you can do with the USB charging medium.
Yes, you can.
How so your company is I asked this question of another group. So your company is worth $1.2 million, right?
No, we're projecting sales after about year 5 about $6 million.
No, but you're asking me to invest 20% in your company at $310,000. So it's actually $1.5 million. How do you justify that?
Well, how we look at it is the 20% of our company, that money will be used for covering the manufacturing costs, the facility that we need to do all that. And we think by looking at our sales, I know we don't have it up there, but by looking at our sales, the investment that you give will just be a major return to you guys.
Yeah, if we make $6 million, and by the time we finish putting $310,000 into it, really isn't that much for you. That's a very profitable business. So
And you're gonna manufacture these toothbrushes yourself? You said?
No,
Warehouse.
So you're gonna outsource those?
Yeah.
And all you need to do $6 million in revenue is $300,000?
When you polled 100 people, what were the results? Would people go out and buy these for their?
what happened was when we first started polling people, it was mainly people from UNH because we put it on our Facebooks and stuff like that. So we actually had to get all of our parents to put it on their Facebooks to get more of like the general age. Then once we found that like target market was our age, we did like a new poll. We added like questions to it based on like if you had a toothbrush that was electronic, like how much would you pay for it? If your toothbrush, we did many questions based on if you had this, how much would you be willing to pay? If you had this, how much would you be willing to pay? And we found like the main price point was between like $70 and $100. People really weren't willing to go over $100 for a toothbrush, and then they knew like if they were going to spend under $70, how great was it going to be?
I thought the Oral-B was like $25, $30, wasn't it? Isn't it?
The Oral-B, like which one? They have many different lines of it.
I don't know, the one that should.
They have like a really simple Oral-B one that just has like one battery that goes inside of it.
Yes.
Like I actually have that at home,
Yeah.
and that one is like $25, but that's just one simple thing with the battery in it.
Like we said, we're looking at our target market to be high-end luxury
Sure.
travel items, so that's why we kind of set that price point above that.
Yeah, once we found like the target market of the people that are willing to buy, you know, like they have like the nice suitcases, they have like the nice like passport holder, they're traveling a lot, they have like the nice quality items to last them a while. Once we found those people, then it was kind of more targeting them as to see how much they would pay.
Then why are you in Rite Aid, CVS, and why wouldn't you be in sort of a higher end marketplace?
We felt that we didn't really know how we would get into a high-end market like that, being a startup company and having only products from catalogs. We obviously planned for the future that we would eventually hope to get into a high-end place, like maybe even sold a dentist's office, stuff like that. But as for just the second year, we thought just try for something like that. Even people that want high-end luxury stuff, they still are going to be shopping at like Rite Aid.
And Dualonics is the brand name.
It is.
That's brand name. Yeah. Do you think that resonates with people, that name?
I mean, to me, it like you think of like Sonics like being technology, and then Dual having two purposes. So it is the brand name of it. But I mean, if we were to like continue with the company and come up with other ideas like a razor that has shaving cream, like stuff like that, if we were to go into products like those, I mean, we would have to come up with like another Dualonics.
I think the design would have to be really like, I gotta have this because this
Yeah.
design is so cool.
That's part of the 9,000 of the design and engineering team.
Yeah, we want it to be very like sleek and professional, like a nice luxury looking item.
Is Sharper Image still in business? Or
Don't.
Heinecker
Or
and
Brookstone or
yeah,
something.
Yeah,
Brookstone is where I was thinking you should
Yeah,
go.
Brookstone would have been good.
I like the idea of it because I, for one, can never seem to get to the drugstore so I'd rather have something, honestly, that I could recharge with my toothpaste and say, okay, I bought this, I bought it once, I always have it, I use it every day, and now I can actually put my toothpaste in it and go. I was just questioning the price point, so I just happened to go on Amazon.com here, and so you've got Philips Sonicare, $78, $189, so actually, you know, if you can position yourselves, again, I think Philips is a technology-driven thing, right? Because people
Definitely.
like the action, so you'd have to figure out how to get into that high-end apparatus, but still have a kind of a toothpaste dispensing technique that's clean. That's not going to be like the Kiss Me one looks like it's a mess.
It's a mess.
You know what I
It
mean?
breaks open.
Yeah.
Another plus to our product is it's going to be used mainly for travel.
Sure.
But we want it to be one of those things where you can use at home and you can just grab it right off your counter and you can just bring it to the airport. You know what I mean? It's very easy. Everything's where it needs to be. All you need to do is
It's your toothbrush.
Yeah.
So we can use it for all
You know,
purposes.
if you're like-
I think one of the financial assumptions you're making, you might want to just double check, is that you're assuming that you're going to make all that profit. And when you start dealing with retailers, they're going to eat you alive in terms of promotions and rebates and this and payment discounts, and that's why I know the food world of the UNFIs of the world, but I don't know who handles this kind of merchandise, but I think you ought to get some information about that.
I do like the fact that they're driving demand before they, I mean, you're not just gonna walk in and, you know, Rite Aid and CVS and say, hey, buy 5 million of these things. So they're gonna start with the Sky Mall and start with some of the other boutique styles.
We're just gonna try to get the brand up and
Yeah.
running. That's our main plan.
We
I
figured, like,
even
if
stay
you're-
away from some of those drugstores. To me, I
Yeah,
think Amazon
that's
would
that's
be a better
definitely a good
place.
point. Yeah, we really that's
Zeus.
definitely something to look into and
Right.
change that plan for us. We were just really thinking. Generally, our first point was if we had it in Sky Mall, you're sitting in the airport, you could even be possibly thinking, "Oh crap, I forgot toothpaste or I forgot whatever." You're flipping through that and you see that. Like, I'm always in the airport. I'm always traveling. Like, why shouldn't I just get this?
I think Brookstone is a good idea because you're in airports.
Or even high-end lodging properties that have gift shops.
Yeah.
That might even be another, even though if you're traveling and you forgot your toothbrush and then you get this final product. Most of us who travel a lot have a travel kit. Everything's in it. And when you know, and so it would be in it in both those things. So replacing those little tubes of toothpaste is a problem, so, to me.
So from a functionality standpoint too, you know, you talked about the little toothpick thing to clean it. I don't know about you guys, but old toothpaste, like if I haven't traveled for a little while, it's like radioactive waste. You can't get it off anything. I would suggest that you want to look at having something that dismantles to a point where you can thoroughly wash and clean and sanitize, because a little pick thing for me is not going to cut it.
Yeah, we thought like the little pick thing could like get it around the edges, and then like even if you ran like hot water through it, it's gonna dispense hot water just like it would dispense toothpaste. It's just the technology to bring it up.
But then it leads to a design question about, is this thing going to be fully waterproof and to what degree? And so
Yeah,
there's
I
other
definitely think
questions that go
fully
with that.
waterproof.
We just didn't want to portray to like our customers that you have to like take it all apart and it's a big one hassle to like clean it, and then that's be another con to our product.
And you didn't have replacement heads in the product, right? I mean, you
Um,
have to
so-
replace it every 3 months.
It comes with the head on it, and then it comes with a separate one. So you replace it every 3 months, and then you can buy those separately.
But I think the best point in your revenue projections, did you have?
Oh yeah,
built
we
in-
didn't incorporate.
Because I think that is an ongoing.
Yeah, we wanted to like
pretty
research
sublime.
like how many people actually do replace it every 3 months, because like I know like your razor and stuff like that, like I let it get to where it's like cutting me. So we wanted to like further research like how often people do that before we incorporate it into the financials, but we definitely need to.
What if somebody wants fine or medium or hard or all those different, there are a million kinds of bristles now. How are you going to deal with that?
I think we're gonna start with a generic one at first. There's so many possibilities you can branch off this. You can make a kid's one. You can make we could do something like a manual. As for the toothbrush, we're just gonna use them. It'll be more like a watch and let's see type of thing. Because people start complaining about it. But it's gonna be the high end, what you see on Sonicare, what you see on all those. It's gonna be the straight bristles with a little hole in the middle.
So would you say your point of differentiation is really more the fact that there's toothpaste in it?
I think it's more that it is 2-in-1. It's making your life easier, but it's also that it's giving you that high quality benefit of having it be electronic, having it be actually nice, having it have nice bristles and.
Because you're going to have to compete. You're going to have to compete with those guys because you're at $80.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to
We're
be
gonna
in
have
there
to-
with Oral-B and Sonicare and all that. So you're going to have the functionality. Because I think for $80 you want to be an everyday toothbrush, right?
Yeah.
You got to be that. So you got to have that level of oral care that they would have. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. Yeah.
And then you have something they don't have,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
which is the travel, benefit of that.
yeah, interesting, yeah. So where are your other two partners? Your business?
One's sick and one's not. They're both sick.
Okay. Just saying, you're coming,
Yeah.
You guys did well.
Thank you.
Good.
If we have time, in a lot you talk about kind of cheap versus quality.
Yeah.
And can you define what you think is, why you think what's out there is cheap, and then how are you going to be higher quality?
Well, I actually like the dentist that I go to. I use like a very like cheap quality toothbrush. I got it for like $2, and it was like cheap, and I would use it just to throw in my bag for like a weekend.
Right.
And like actually talking to my dentist, I found that you can actually like wear away like your gums up on top if you're using a cheap toothbrush that has like the hard bristles that just isn't made to give you that oral care that is high quality, that is gonna be beneficial to your mouth. So, I mean,
I think it'd be worth us delving into maybe getting some research numbers on that, or research that can support our argument about high quality tooth care. Like if you have doctors saying that it's not cleaning as well, which it isn't, and it's providing more cavities or more plaque, maybe that will push them more towards our product, especially traveling.
So the other design question I have is, so this is gonna have toothpaste in it, which means it has to go in a quart-sized bag.
Right. The tube in it will be 3.4 ounces. The little compartment
Right.
will be exactly 3.4 ounces.
But I guess the question is, it'd have to be a stubby, short toothbrush in order to fit in a quart bag. Because it has to be in a bag, right?
yeah, so we were debating on that, like if maybe you could have the compartment just come out in general and then that would be easier to clean it too. That was like something that we decided, but we hadn't really picked up on it yet. I definitely think that
But
that
then that
would,
defeats the
now that you
purpose of
bring up
having the toothpaste
the
and a
quart-sized
toothbrush,
bag,
because
yeah.
now you gotta take it out in order to travel with it, so.
Right.
Chicken or the egg, I guess.
Yeah, but your electronic toothbrush fits in the bag.
Yeah.
Mine does. It's just a travel bag, this big, right?
Yeah, but it's
You
a
just
quart-sized
have to-
bag,
And
it's
what do
not
you
this
hope
big, I
it
don't
gets
think.
a charge? You don't bring the charger.
Well, no, the charger will go in your briefcase.
Yeah,
I like the charger.
I like the USB
I like the
idea.
USB idea.
Provided,
It's
I like
really
the USB
good.
idea a lot because everybody
Right.
is, it's,
Right.
it
Something you're
charges
not
your
gonna
Mophie,
forget,
it
yeah.
charges your
Yeah.
headphones, it
Yeah.
charges your,
Yeah,
so it's one charger now. I mean, if you, again, can you get that voltage level to to handle that? Because that's a lot of, now you have a moving part, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We did a little bit of research on that, and it would take a little while for it to charge, but we assumed that they
So
would.
like how long, like overnight?
I think it's 8 to 12 hours for it to
Yeah.
fully
That's
charge.
fine, though, so you-
Which is like,
you
we
brush your
thought
teeth,
you're not
you
going to
go
be
back.
touching it too much, so.
Yeah.
We're running out of time.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.